Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go with this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section social media account. Also, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now looking at put the call ratio right now, it's not really that spectacular. It's at let's see, 0.68, not really high, not really low. It's kind of like in the middle. Tomorrow, Monday, is a bank holiday. Not much may happen. It's Columbus Day in the States, Thanksgiving in Canada. So not much may happen, but we have a lot going on in the world. We get this thing going on with Israel right now that the market's probably going to end up gapping down. It could end up being a very, very volatile week, or at least a volatile Monday. So we'll get into that in a second. But Israel is definitely the news of the day and something to watch overnight into tomorrow. See how the market reacts to it. As far as the economic calendar, don't see anything obviously on Monday because it's a bank holiday, but we have some FOM speakers, Logan at 9 a.m. and Jefferson at 12:50. More Fed speakers on Tuesday at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Not much morning news. Wednesday we have core PPI and PPI at 8:30 on Wednesday. We have FOMC this Wednesday. No Powell, so this could be a good mover because I generally like the FOMC days where there's no Powell because SPX is cheap and we can get them at the money. And even a small move will make them go 100%. So I do prefer the FOMC days that have no Powell. So we have that going on this week. Thursday. What was the one we had? Monday, core PPI, and Thursday we have CPI. So we have core CPI, month, year, unemployment claims at 8:30 Thursday. Friday we have consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. So you've got a lot of kind of like things going on this week between Israel, PPI, core PPI, CPI, and unemployment claims, and some Fed speakers. We get some things to keep an eye on the economic calendar, so definitely keep an eye out for that. I think it's going to be a volatile week, so at least tomorrow will be. SPY, it had a massive $10 run on Friday. Then we have Israel news hitting over the weekend, so I would imagine we're probably going to end up having could have a red day tomorrow. We'll have to see where market opens up, but a $10 day in a downtrend, rejecting 430. Well, actually went up above 430, but it closed below 430, and cooling off the RSI, so it can make lower new lows. Now, if it does manage to get below 420. We could definitely see 410 pretty quickly on that. We'll have to see what the Israel news does and how the market reacts to that. So we'll keep an eye on both directions, but I'm thinking that we're going to end up gapping down and having a possibly a bloody day tomorrow. If not, we'll probably gap down and the market will probably recover, V-rally at open and just take all the put holders out, put players out in the morning and just rage all afternoon. So we'll have to see. We'll play it hour by hour and the way it looks. So that's why you need to be in the room. So that's what I'm thinking. It's all going to be very dependent on how the market reacts to the Israel conflict going on right now. Could this set off bigger situations that's already going on? We have no idea how big this conflict's going to go, who's going to get involved, or what's going to happen. That's a big unknown, so the market doesn't like unknown, so we'll have to see how it does. So we'll be open-minded and thinking that we gap down and get. The only thing I'm really looking at, if it loses 420, we're going to go to 410 pretty quickly. But for some reason, if the market shrugs off what's going on and just does a gap down and pop, then we'd watch it over 430. We get a gap fill rate around 436 to 440. and get gap fills up here at 450. So I'll be watching both directions on that. VIX is at VIX, yeah, hit 20 and just had a tail candle right there. So, but like I said, Israel is the anomaly. We'll have to see how the market reacts to that. Be curious to see how it opens up today. Now, Tesla is one to be keeping an eye on. And, you know, it's kind of, you know, it made a higher low right here. And if it gets over this, let's see, 262 area, probably going to see 265, 270, 275, 280. Definitely looking good. Right here is where its gap resistance is, right around the 280 level. So if it manages to get this 280 and the market's strong, or Tesla gets some strength behind it, we could end up seeing a push to 300 and fill that gap pretty quickly on Tesla. So don't sleep on Tesla. Tesla could wake up this week. Definitely keep an eye on that. BA is another one. It just took a monster dump. It had a nice green day on Friday and Thursday. Held the RCT trend line right here on the weekly. That's a good sign. I would watch it over Friday's high of we'll just run up to 189, 190, 195. 200 would be a big psychological number. I think we're gonna definitely see a dead cat bounce more than we did right here on BA. So we could see a nice run up to 190, 195, 200. I'll get a lot of resistance right here at 197, so that could be 197, 200. That could be the area where it could end up stalling out and having a hard time. So definitely keep an eye on BA. I think that could end up having a good bounce. McDonald's is another one. This is probably one I might actually just jump in on my portfolio on, because look, McDonald's does not. You don't seeing it taking these massive dumps like this, because they end up recovering. Dump, recover, dump, recover, dump, recover, dumped and recovered. I mean, this to me, it just seems like kind of like a buying opportunity. I don't know, but I'd watch it over 250 for push to basically every $5, 255, 260, 265, 270. I think McDonald's could be a nice long-term hold on that. So keep an eye on that. I'll have to try to remember to try to get into that in the portfolio probably tomorrow. And McDonald's is one of those stocks that it doesn't care what the market's doing. The market could just go take a massive dump, and McDonald's could go against it, because everyone's going to keep eating at McDonald's. If time gets tough, more people go to McDonald's. So it's kind of like when the recessions happen and people go broke, the places that end up doing really well when the economy is crap and money's tight is dollar stores, Walmart, McDonald's. The really low, cheap places end up doing the best. So definitely keep an eye on that. Apple, I don't like trading Apple, but I'm just pointing this out. I mean, it had a nice, strong, engulfing green weekly right here on Apple, but it's all going to be dependent on what happens with Israel and the market. But if it does manage to get over 180, keep an eye on it for a gap fill at 182, and we could end up seeing a run to 190 up here. So I'm not too confident that we'll do that. If the market's taking a dump, it may not even do anything. We could end up dropping lower, but you know, it gets over 180, you could see a strong move on Apple. So definitely keep an eye on that. Netflix, another one. It's been just getting clobbered on, and it's got earnings coming up. Netflix likes to have an earnings run up, and I'm looking at it. If it gets over, it's got a nice little setup right here. If it gets over, we'll say 383 for push to 390, 400, 410, 420. We could end up seeing a very strong push out of Netflix for a pre-earnings run-up. It does like to do that. It hasn't in a while. Right here, it did right there, and then it dropped right on earnings right there. So had a nice little, we could end up seeing this kind of a move right here this week. So what was this started at? 448 to 478. That's a $30 move right there. So $30 on 381 would be 420, 411. So that brings us right up to the top of the Kellner channel right there. So right where the resistance is right here, heavy resistance in that 410 area, 415 area. So that could line up with that if we have a pre-market run on Netflix. Netflix is another one of those ones where the market could really not could take a dump, and Netflix could really not care. So definitely keep an eye on that. Get a couple good ones. this week to keep an eye on. NVIDIA still head and shoulders. You get the left, the head, and the right shoulder. I know I had a strong day on Friday, but I know it did hold this 410 area. It did not drop. I was kind of thinking it was going to drop. It just kind of kept going. I'd watch it underneath. I'd watch it underneath 440. You can even watch it underneath 435. Push to 430, 420, and 410. I think at some point we get to come down here and retest this 330 area, but who knows if we will or not. We could just shoot up to 500 again. Who really knows? NVIDIA did have a kind of a meaningful pullback, and RSI's cooled down quite a bit, so it could definitely make another run for 500, but hourly is pretty overextended on the RSI. Head and shoulders is still there. Neckline is at 410. It loses 410, and we could end up seeing a drop to 375, which is where it'll probably likely hold a gap support, because this will be the first time it's tested it since this massive run up here. I mean, I know it's kind of tested it here a little bit, but not really. But here we had such a monster run. I think that if it did break 410, I think it would bounce right here before actually closing the gap. Who knows when this gap will close? This gap could close next month, or it could close in 2 years. Who knows? That gap will probably end up closing at some point, but who knows when. So that's going to do it for the watch list, and thanks for watching.